everyone, it's Daphne and we're on page 2, and page 2 is going to be a very simple page. We're just going to have one large pocket and it's going to be adhered vertically to the left hand side of page 2. There's so many beautiful ephemera cards that I definitely wanted to make sure that I had a pocket so that I could feature those in bifold cards. So we're going to attach this, and this is 4.5, it's 4.5 inches by 9. 4.5 by 9. So if you place it in your scoreboard with the 4.5 across the top, you're going to score a 1/2 inch, and then you're going to rotate it 45 degrees, score a 1/2 inch, and then rotate it 180 degrees and score a 1/2 inch. So at the end, you're going to have a 1/2 inch around 3 of the 4 sides. Again, this is 4.5 by 9. And this is page 2, and we're going to do the same thing on page 7. Except for on page 7, we're going to install it on the right-hand side. So the reason I like to install it that way is if you turn your book on its side with the spine up and you have stuff in the pocket, it's not going to fall out. Because this is the spine side, the cards would go toward the spine and not outside the book. So I just want to share that with you. So you might want to think about that when you're installing pockets. If you're not installing them horizontally, think about if the book gets turned, where are those inserts going to go? Okay, there we go. So that's just a nice, simple pocket, and I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm going to load this up with some of those with cardstock backed ephemera cards. And then the other thing I wanted to share is the Graphic 45 has this die. I'm using 2 dies. I'm using the tag and pocket die, which I used on page 1 and page 8 as a flap to hold everything in place. And then they have this what they call a policy envelope, and it makes this cute little policy envelope. And so I'm going to be featuring these in some of the pockets as well. It opens up, it's really cute. And I've been itching to kind of use this die. So I am going to use this die for some of the pocket inserts in this album. Again, that is the policy envelope die, which is separate from the tag and pocket die. So Graphic came out with 3 dies. One was the folder, one is the tag and pocket, and one is the policy envelope. And so I've used the folder one in the last album, or in the recipe project that I made, recipe box project, and then I'm featuring the other 2 dies in this one. I might even use a folder in here too, I haven't decided. So just FYI, if you look in the description and you click the more button, you'll see the list of the dies as well as the paper that was used in this project. And then if you keep scrolling, you'll see the cut list. Okay, that's it for page 2. I need to go trim and ink my edges, and then when I come back, we will decorate this. I'll be right back. Hey everybody. Okay, I went and trimmed out my pieces for page 2, and remember, it's just this simple pocket. The pocket is actually going to be covered with this pattern, and do I have that right? Yes. And then this is going to be the backdrop, and I wanted to keep this simple because I am going to have these inserts, which are going to be quite colorful and have the more prominent pattern on it. So here we go. I've inked it and I've double checked my measurements, so this is going to go quite quickly. And then I'm going to pick out I think the ephemera cards that I want to, just gonna put this under here so I can see the edge, that I'm going to feature in this page, but I'm not actually going to back them with cardstock right now. I'll probably do that offline, but I'll at least pick them so that you guys can, if you want to do the same thing, reserve them so you don't accidentally repurpose them someplace else in the album. Okay, so that's it. That's so simple, right? Okay. Now I've talked about this before. I've tried lots of different techniques. Because we have a flange on either end of the pocket, that means that this will slide right into the pocket. And what I've learned from experience is you want to put glue up here, but not glue the edge that's going to actually slip inside. And the reason is if you overstuff it and need to pull it back out, you're not going to leave a trail of glue behind you. So I'm going to stop about 1 inch from the bottom, and because it's tucked under this pocket, there's no real risk of it actually being lifted up. And this will allow you the time to, let me make sure I'm doing that. Yeah, trying to make sure I had the had it in the right orientation, meaning that the pattern is directional. So I want my butterflies to be going in the up direction. Okay, and so this is the edge. The leading edge does not have glue on it, and that allows me to kind of put it in at an angle and figure out, you know, where it's going to fall, and then be able to pull it back out a little bit if I need to. But I think I did a pretty good job the first time, and I'm happy with that. Okay, so that's it. Pretty straightforward. Okay, now let's shuffle through the cards and try to find a few things that we want to put in the pocket. Okay, I've made these little what are they called? Policy envelopes with the graphic 45 die. So I've got 2 of those made. I may make some more after I know what my scrap situation is. And I actually featured a cut apart on top of this. I had to trim it down to fit, but I think it turned out really nice. Okay, these are my small ephemera cards, and then here's my large. So I'm going to probably do both, a little bit of both, and I like that look. So that's definitely one that I want to use here. And that might be too much purple. Let's try to find a smaller one. That's a match, too matchy. And then I also have these cut aparts too, so I might use some of those as well. I kind of like that. The greens don't really go. The pink and yellow might. Nope. Not liking the green. Okay, I think I want to try to find, yeah, a horizontal one. So I'm going to reserve these. I don't know that I'll use all of them, but I like the way they match with this page, so I think I'm going to set aside these 4, go ahead and place them in the pocket, and if I decide to use them, I will cardstock back them. I probably make them bifolds so that you can stick photos inside, and then I probably want to go ahead and use one of these as well, but not this one because it's yellow. I had another one that was more purple and pink, but I don't know what I did with it. I don't know. I misplaced it. Maybe I stuck it in. Here it is. Oh, it's got some green in it. So this one looks good too. So I just think these are so cute. So I'm going to stick that in there, and we're going to set aside page 2, and we will move forward. Okay, I'm going to collect the rest of these, set them aside, and I'll be back to start working on page 3.